Bulvanak, and a good morning, ladies and gentlemen. And what a morning it is. While hundreds of delegates packed this room today, thousands more tuned in to watch on television or over social media all throughout Fiji and across the globe. There's intense interest in this morning's seminar, and deservedly so. We're here at the front end of the Asian Development Bank's annual meeting, a landmark event that, as Fiji's largest international conference to date, it's already making history before any presentations or discussions even take place. Meanwhile, the sheer size of an event alone isn't worth celebrating. For that, we need to ensure that the week's events are fruitful, are engaging, and leave lifelong impression on thousands of delegates in attendance. As your hosts, we in Fiji have taken this mission to heart, with the panel we've planned for this morning as a case in point. Every year, the Asian Development Bank holds its annual meeting somewhere different, and whichever nation plays host is given the freedom to shape what we call a host country seminar, the focus of which is left wholly for them to decide. As a nation with a especially young population, half of our population being under the age of 21, we knew from the start that we wanted to use this seminar as an opportunity to shine a spotlight on our nation's young people. While we're a proud small state, Fiji is not one to do anything small. Simply having a presentation or lecture centered on youth's role in development wasn't enough. Instead, we decided to enlist the help of the entire nation, working in partnership with the region's leading lifestyle magazine, My Life, to launch a nationwide search for success stories of rising trailblazers across business, government, and civil society. Our goal in all of this was to identify 30 leaders under the age of 30 and honor them with a first-of-its-kind recognition that would serve as the foundation for today's host country seminar. To be totally candid, when we called for nominations from the public, we weren't sure what to expect, actually. It's difficult to predict what lacks precedent. But after announcing our plans, it quickly became evident that there were countless stories of young achievements, young achievers, just waiting for a stage to be told. The outpouring of support has been overwhelming, with hundreds of nominations sent in by government ministers, CEOs, colleagues, and peers, spanning across well-established industries and innovative new ones. I'd like to take a moment to thank all of the nominees and their nominators who submitted applications. As a whole, I can tell you that this is a generation to watch in Fiji. The true barometer for success has been elevated not by a few solitary actors, but by the collective progress of what is proving to be a golden era of opportunity, we believe, in Fiji. And that wave of generational momentum is already transforming the country as we know it. The 30 winners today portray a cross-sampling of the Fijian economy as a whole, an economy that, with each passing year, is becoming more modern, more dynamic, and more diverse. When we went searching for the faces of Fiji's future, we wanted a true representation of the many key professionals that play an integral role in cultivating economic prosperity. Among today's honorees, you'll see that the winners are having a real on-the-ground impact in their communities. A special education teacher, as our president highlighted, from more sparsely populated Northern Division, stands shoulder to shoulder with a businessman from Suva overseeing millions of dollars in manufacturing operations. A rising surgeon stands alongside a 12-year-old climate activist. A medal-winning boxer is joined by a software engineer turned hydroponics farmer. These young leaders are truly role models who are at the forefront of revolution in their communities, the region, and indeed the world. While their backgrounds are diverse, what they share is an unlimited power of potential, not just for themselves or for Fiji, but for the world. All nations, ladies and gentlemen, should look to the young people as the ultimate investment in their long-term social, political, and economic stability. They say that rising tides lifts all boats, and that's certainly true as it applies to creating new opportunities for our youth. Fiji's recent economic prosperity has allowed us to invest unprecedented amounts in our education system and foster new, more innovative industries that will prepare our nation's economy for the future. From this 30 under 30 class, it's clear that we're starting to yield the fruits of that investment. Just a decade ago, many of the professional paths that are held by these young people today, the leaders of today, did not even exist in Fiji. But from where we stand today, what was once seemingly impossible is now within the reach for a generation of unmatched talent and limitless horizons. In the words of late aerospace scientist and President of India, Dr. Abdul Kalam, our young people must have the courage to think differently, the courage to invent, the courage to travel the unexplored path, discover the impossible, conquer their problems, and through all this, must have the courage to succeed. The overarching theme of this year's annual meeting is prosperity through unity. So when we speak to rising tides, let us ensure that the progress we achieve is grounded in inclusivity, because in truly achieving a sense of unity, the voices of our young people must be at the decision-making table. When it comes to inclusive development, their perspectives provide an indispensable part of that dialogue. After all, this is the generation that will take the baton of leadership and run with it. They will inherit the future that we are working together to create now. In the coming days, the seminars of the annual meeting will encompass new technologies, new industries, and new multilateral strategies that guide our future and our cooperation and our development. In the spirit of this host country seminar, where the voices of the young people resonate front and center, let us carry that theme of visionary inclusivity throughout the entire week of this annual meeting. Because as the world's markets ebb and flow, and we navigate through an age of heightened uncertainty and new challenges like climate change, we should never act in a way that is short-sighted or lose perspective of the generations that come to take our place. For when the waters recede, when the global economy inevitably loses steam, then will come true the test of what we've built. Through this week, we'll often talk in dollars and cents. You'll hear about the massive capital projects that ADB helps to facilitate in countries like Fiji. But perhaps the greatest value of this conference comes from the capital infusion of a different kind, of our intellectual capital. The lessons and connections we take home stand to benefit attendees, the countries they represent, for years to come. The new ideas, the fresh perspectives that is sparked through dialogue like this are exactly what the nations of the world need in order to remove blinders of unilateralism. No one nation, ladies and gentlemen, no one person has every solution. The invaluable worth of collaboration and of welcoming new worldviews shines through in events like the ADB annual meeting. That's what prosperity through unity is all about. Let us follow the lead of our young people who see the world through a lens of innovation, of cooperation, and a raw potential. I look forward to the discussions that will follow and to the days of relationship building we have planned ahead. I implore you, please, to make good use of your time here in Fiji. And by doing so, take lessons home with you that will inspire stories of success like those we'll hear this morning. Thank you very much. Vinaka Wakalevu. Thank you.